Well, apparently it's not all right to break down other races other than white people for attempted murder and carrying on false information. I was followed this area based upon the fact my father gave me a Greyhound ticket, and this fellow who called himself Joker essentially somehow was out there and came out. And there was another character who did the same thing, white fellow. Uh, what's interesting about this area is it seems to be under a Nazi confine because I've found children trying to teach other children that Nazis are cool, overhearing their conversation. Not to mention everyone's white, and that's weird here. But it was not unreasonable because the white supremacists had a strong hold over this state for quite some time. Several Jewish women were burned, and I was on a bus where somebody said that was cool. The guy looked like the fellow who stripped me down here at the hospital. And bizarrely enough, this racial confinement to never ever be allowed to call out other minorities for having paranoia and manufacturing a consent to sort of claim this against white people or racism or yada yada. Obviously they use these concepts to blacklist other people as they use any general construct, as in the Lenin takeover. Um, you know, it's bizarre for me to get through it all, but I was just overdosed, and both these men were both acting as hitmen at one point. And sort of to get accepted into a racial confine as a race that's not accepted, sometimes they play that hitman game. But bizarrely enough, I have indicated I have been calling the Russians because they did overdose me, and they are continuing to ignore the fact I am being threatened life-wise. So they use no evidence, and then they get caught using no evidence and being wrong. So they need everyone to figure out how to make them look right so that they don't get basically vindicated as having passed around gossip, which they utilized in a hitman action. I have verified this so many times in so many ways. I'm right now being accused of terrorism and making threats for terrorists, even though I was blacked out drunk and pointing out to everyone, I guess, I was calling the Russians and verifying that they are actually literally trying to manufacture a never-ending spree under which they can get away with murdering and enslaving me for being something I'm not, consistently based on a wrong tip, so that the people who have no ability to admit when they're wrong can, I don't know, get away with a forever misfortune of gospets. I am verifying without a shadow of a doubt I have been trafficked 17 years based on female and minorities indicating me as racist and bullshit. And it made me very racist and bullshit. Well, it didn't make me a pedophile. Nothing can make me a pedophile. That's sick. It's not even fun to want to be with a child. It's gross. I got so desperate I did get with a man once, but from the variables of this all, it's clear what's going on.